Welcome to episode... Oh, that's a bit loud, isn't it? Let me turn that down. Welcome, there we are, to episode 128 of Freshly Grounded. Guys, this week's episode is with Ebs. We're going to go with Ebs. We asked him at the beginning of the podcast what he'd prefer to be called, and our brother Ebs is joining us, Ebs Rahman, who you can find on Instagram at Ebs Rahman. Really interesting brother. I met this brother about 2 weeks ago, maybe, and I asked him to come down to the podcast. I thought it would be amazing to have him on. He has a really, really interesting story in that he had the thing that I found interesting initially was the fact that he about a few days before we had met, he had actually suffered from a minor stroke, and yet the next day he was back on his feet. And at 32 years old, super healthy, goes to the gym almost every day, eats healthy, has maybe an unhealthy addiction to coffee, but plays football every week. Yet he suffered a stroke at 32, and I think it was really profound to hear about. So we speak about that. We also speak about his a new business venture that he started up called Muslim Giving, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have either used or heard of, and an incredibly interesting podcast, man. Amazing to hear the insight from Ebs about his love of football, his love of coffee, his recent experience having that minor stroke, how he deals with stress, and how he got therapy for stress, which I think is something that is important, that we also discussed that last week with Yusha Evans. All in all, an amazing episode, guys. If you do love these episodes and you want to be able to support Freshly Grounded, please do head over to our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. That's patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. For about the price of a cup of coffee per month, you're able to support us, and you get every episode early. But more than anything, you support the podcast, you help us run and rely less on private advertising. We'd love to be able to get to the point where we can completely stay away from all private advertising and just increase our content, increase the quality of it. But your guys' help and support in that would be amazing. So if you want to become a Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. And you get a bunch of perks, like I mentioned, with free early release of episodes, some merchandise, tickets, discounted tickets. And we're trying our best to do more and more for our Patreon subscribers. And over the next couple months, we're going to really work on enhancing that for the patrons. So do check that out, guys. Without any further ado, this is episode 128 of Freshly Grounded, or 129 with Freshly Grounded, depending when it's out, with our brother Ebs Rahman.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
After that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
And we're on.
I'm easy like a Sunday morning.
There you go. Good.
Tuesday morning.
But how do I pronounce your name?
It's Ibadur Rahman.
Okay.
Most people call me Ebdo.
Ebido.
Yeah.
We'll go with Ebido.
You can call me Ebdo. Or most people, a lot of my friends, everyone knows me as Ebs.
Ebs. Okay, I'm going to go with Ebs. If you're happy with Ebs,
I'm
we'll
happy
go
with Ebs, bro.
Alright, fine. Jazakallah khair for joining us today.
No problem.
I know that you have come from far, and even though far is, you'd think that means like another city or something, but in London, when you come from one end to especially this end, because it's like so far West London, I know that it's not easy. So I do appreciate that.
It's quicker to go to France.
Really?
Yeah, it took me an hour and a half today.
No. It's quick for me to go to East London. It's quicker for me to go to Birmingham. Like sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Because I live like so close to Birmingham, the Birmingham.
Yeah, on the M1, it's literally there.
Yeah. Mad, isn't it, bro? And how crazy is it to think that even London is so big that it takes hours. It can take me 2 hours to get from where I am to East London. Yet, it's one of the smallest cities in the world. Like, it's very small.
Is it small?
It's tiny, bro.
Well, I've
if
driven.
you compare it to America, like the cities in America.
I've driven from Moscow to Kazan, right? It's taking me 15 hours.
That's mad. Are you quite adventurous?
No, I'm not adventurous, but I travel. But and I don't like, when I travel, I like to stick to the food that I know. I don't like to taste local cuisine.
You don't? Why?
That's not me.
Isn't that one of the main fun things about traveling is tasting the cuisine?
Yeah, but I don't like anything out of the ordinary.
That's very weird, bro.
Yeah, so like if I go to like, so recently I was in Oman, and their sort of local dish is kabsa, probably, right? So with chicken and rice mixed together. I didn't want to try it.
So what did you have?
I just had grilled chicken.
Fair enough.
Grilled chicken.
If you're
Stick to what I know.
Yeah, you're a man who knows what you want. Someone said to me the other day, I think it was Mohammed, brother Akhi Sweet, he goes, he said to me, Faisal, you're very much a man of habit, aren't you? I think it was him who said that. I'm man.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that about you.
Oh, really?
Like, you know what you want.
What, in the true times that we've met?
Yeah.
How?
Like, okay, you know that you want this room in a particular way.
Yeah.
You know how you want your coffee. You've got a routine going.
Yeah. That's what we are, aren't we? We're creatures of habit, I think. And I think the best part of having a habit, the worst part of being a habitual creature is how predictable it is. But the best part, and this far outweighs the cons, is that it's so time efficient having habits.
Yeah, like I've got habits. I don't want to really say them. Like, for example, okay, I'll say one, right? So I iron all my clothes for the week on a Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm coming at your level because I feel like your chair's really low.
Yeah, I made it low.
Oh, did you put yourself low on purpose?
Yeah, on purpose. Like I need everything ironed and ready for me. I don't want to wake up in the morning, have a shower and an iron.
So do you know what you're going to wear for the whole week?
Well, I do my bottoms, so all my chinos, my jeans,
Okay.
I get it done. Sometimes because my week's planned out. So for example, this week I knew Monday I was a bit busy with meetings. I'll know what I need to wear. I can't wear t-shirt and jeans. Today, a bit more relaxed, a shirt and chinos, but I'm wearing trainers.
But you still look smart.
Yeah, that's the
aim.
That's the aim.
Right.
Tomorrow's a bit more relaxed. Thursdays I got meetings, so I don't know what I'm wearing. Friday's always dress down day.
Okay. What's just down day like?
Jeans and trainers and t-shirt.
Okay.
That's my dress down.
My dress down would be trackies, not jeans.
I don't wear trackies, bro.
Oh, I'm such a awful.
I do wear trackies when I go
I'm such an
gym.
awful millennial. That's what I am. Because it's horrible that we wear trackies out. Really, isn't it? Like,
No, it's not horrible. I wear
It is
trackies.
horrible.
I wear trackies to the gym.
I wear trackies all the time, but that's where you should wear them, to the gym.
Yeah.
But I wear them all the time, and that's an awful personality. That's a horrible human being, because you're basically saying I can't be bothered. I'm going out in my pajamas.
Yeah.
It's
maybe.
horrible.
Maybe.
I'm
I
such an awful millennial, bro.
rather you say that than me, but
Yeah, no, it's true, bro. It's true. And I have I was actually meant to. I had quite an important meeting yesterday, and I was meant to wear jeans to it, and then last minute I decided not to.
important me, and you weren't gonna wear jeans. You were gonna wear jeans. Okay, it's a bit informal, though.
But that was formal for me.
Yeah, it's like no, that's a no for me. If you wear jeans with like say shoes and a shirt and a blazer, like that's okay.
Okay, fine.
That's alright. But if you're wearing like trainers, jeans, and a jumper or a hoodie, then if you came to see me, I wouldn't take you seriously. I'll give you the time, but I'll be like, okay, is this serious?
But do you think that's old school now? Because like now you see all these tech entrepreneurs who are like
That's if you you're on the level of someone like Mark Zuckerberg or someone like Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Then because you have that much money, you can now wear.
Because they don't wear things to show off.
But what if I'm not wearing them to show off? I'm wearing them for comfort. That's why I.
Yeah,
dress.
comfort is one thing I think, but it's also about looking the part.
I agree.
Looking the part and then
Respecting
respect
people,
is one thing, but you're going somewhere to meet someone and then you're going to be okay. I want to do this. I want this. Whoever meeting you're going for a wedding, you're going for business, you're going for personal. You got to look serious.
Well, I'm wearing a hoodie and a hat right now.
Yeah, I know, but this is all right. This is a podcast, right? But even when I was yesterday night or Sunday when I was sort of getting my chance, like a Tuesday, I've got a podcast. All right, what should I wear? All right, shirt is all right.
Now you look very fresh. Allahumma barik. You look good.
And I
Looking
think
very
I've
fresh.
got the F.
Yeah, you got the. What brand is that? Because I think I might have something.
That's Farah.
And is that a Muslim brand, right?
No.
Is it not?
It's an English brand, yeah, British.
I've seen that brand. It's quite
Yeah,
a nice.
it's quite
brand.
well known.
It's
Yeah,
well-known, nice brand, right?
Yeah, it's like it's clothes that you wear. It makes you look good. It's not formal. It's not informal.
Okay.
Makes you look serious, not serious.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I'd love to wear more suits.
No, I don't do suits.
No way.
I've never worn. I don't do ties. I've done ties on like so when.
Weddings, you must have done ties.
No, I don't
Really?
do ties. No, I don't do ties, man. I'd like 2 or 3 occasions I've worn ties, and it hurts my Ebs apple.
Your Ebs apple.
Yeah,
Why'd you call it Ebs apple?
it's my apple, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not Adam's.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't wear ties, bro.
Fair enough.
I do shirts and blazer. I like a blazer.
Yeah, a good blazer's good. I remember
I
when I
like a
bought my
blazer.
first good blazer. From
As long as you
Zara.
don't wear it with a tracksuit bottom, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, I wouldn't wear a blazer with tracksuit bottom. Impossible. No.
I know people that have.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I know people that have gone to weddings wearing tracksuit bottoms.
I'll tell you one thing I've done though is like I've gone to like you know weddings where you can wear like in our culture where if you have to wear like a salwar kameez, right? I would wear like the top where it's like a plain white salwar kameez and I wear like white tracksuit bottoms underneath
No,
because you can't tell, it just looks like a salwar.
No, bro. You can't do that.
And at our wedding,
You can't do that, man.
I've admitted it now, and you can't tell, it just looks like I'm wearing a salwar.
No, bro. You can't do that, man. That's bad.
Oh, it's done now. Ebs, look, here's what I want to talk to you about first
Yeah,
of all.
yeah.
First and foremost, this is like the number one thing that I want to talk to you about today. We met last week,
Yep.
right? And
Was it last week?
or the week before? We
Okay.
met some
Soon,
point,
yeah,
right?
some point, yeah.
We met 2 weeks ago. And a few days before, and then when I met you, you told me that a few days earlier you had a stroke.
Well, it was like a mini stroke.
But you had a stroke, and you still met me 2 or 3 days later.
Well, I was out the next day. Like, I was out the next day.
Run us through what happened. How old are you, bro? Do you mind saying?
Me, how old I am?
Yeah.
I'm going to be 32.
32. Alhamdulillah. You're very young.
Yep.
And you had a stroke. What was that like?
So it wasn't a stroke. It was like, so they said it was a mini stroke.
Okay.
It was on a Sunday morning. I go gym in the morning. Went gym, came home. I usually have a lie around Sunday morning. Just play on my phone. I woke up, got up bed. Thought, okay, I need to have a shower. Let me go to the toilet first. I sat down on the toilet. And as soon as I sat down, everything was spinning. Like I couldn't see out of my left eye. And I thought maybe it's just something got in my eye. So I quickly got out, washed my face, went to the bathroom, washed my face. And then I looked in the mirror and my left eye, I just, like, you know the Undertaker?
Yeah.
You know when he rolls his eye back?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. So this is what was happening to my left eye. And my head was spinning. I couldn't stand straight. I was like all over the place and there's no one home. So if I was wearing my PJs and I was topless. And so I thought, okay, if ambulance comes, I can't, I have to be ready. So I put a thobe on. I somehow managed I fell down the stairs.
Wait, had you called the ambulance yet?
No.
But you put on a thobe in case the ambulance...
Yeah, like that's the only thing I was thinking. But then I was talking to myself. That's what I remember. But I was talking gibberish.
Out loud?
Out loud.
Wow. And you don't normally talk to yourself? No.
No.
Well,
I don't know. I don't talk to myself, bro.
Okay.
Only when United are playing.
Alhamdulillah, forgive me, bro.
No, is it only when United are playing?
Okay.
I'll do that.
So you're feeling delirious and you decide to put on a thobe and then you go downstairs.
I roll down the stairs more or less, like all over the place.
Oh my God.
Because my head's spinning. I get my wallet. My phone was downstairs. I call 999 and I can show you because I've still got screenshots of it. And then the next is just a blur. I wake up 3 hours later and I know why I woke up 3 hours later because of my phone. I was on the phone to 999 for 19 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wow, that's a long time.
But I couldn't give them my address.
That whole time.
That whole time I couldn't. The only thing I remember is Mr. Rahman, if you don't give me the postcode, I will have to hang up. Now, like a couple of weeks later, I'm thinking, but why didn't the guy just follow my location and know where I was?
But can they do that though?
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, of course they can do that.
You sure?
Yeah, that's why you can't prank call 999, right? Because they'll know where you are.
Okay, so you're on the phone for 19 minutes. You don't manage to get through to them.
Yeah,
Do you remember any of this?
No, only part I remember is the fact the guy telling me,
Fine.
if you don't give me the postcode, I'll have to hang up. I woke up 3 hours later. This side was fine. But this side was all gone. Right. And I still remember waking up halfway through talking to myself about nonsense.
Where were you when you woke up 3 hours later?
On my bed.
Oh, you hadn't got to the I thought you were going to say you woke up 3 hours later in the hospital.
No.
No way.
Yeah, I was on my bed.
Subhanallah, okay.
And I woke
fine.
up hungry around that.
Okay.
And I was thinking, okay, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? And there's no one home, by the way. So I decided to call the ambulance again. I messaged someone in between. And I told them that I'm not feeling too well. What should I do? And that person said to me, you need to call the ambulance.
Is this your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, okay, cool. Let me just have something to eat because I'm hungry, as you do. I thought everything was fine, but my right eye was still blinking a lot and I was still dizzy. Head was hurting. Speech was still a bit, what's the word, gibberish? Slurred. And so then I had something to eat. I jumped on a kebab.
At least it's a healthier version of a doner kebab.
Yeah, I don't eat junk food, bro.
Yeah.
But this time I had to make an exception. And then I looked at my phone again this was the couple of days after. Like then I tried to call 999 3 more occasions, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, and the same thing was happening. This is what I was told, that you called us and you were gibberish. And then finally,
shouldn't they know that those are the signs of a stroke?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know what happened. And then basically, at the last time round, I called my wife and I said to her, "This is X, Y, and Z." And then she called 999 herself. She was somewhere else.
So did you manage to get a conversation out to your wife when you're speaking to her?
No, she said that's why she got scared.
Okay.
Because she said your speech was slurred and you were talking like nonsense.
Okay.
That's when she called 999. The same lady picked up and she said, "Yeah, I've just spoken to him. We were going to send someone in 2 hours. But now that you've called me, we're going to send someone now." So the ambulance came, took me, put me in a wheelchair. That was scary, man. Never been in a wheelchair in my life. Put me in a wheelchair, took me to a hospital, done checks, ECG, CT scan, brain scan, blood pressure, all of that stuff. Took my blood. And then for my dizziness and because I had double vision as well. So I couldn't see where I was going. My right eye was really bad. They gave me this long injection on my arm to help with that. That helped a lot, so calmed me down. When at evening, they took me like 6 hours for them to even sort of see me, and they sort of said to me, "We suspect you've had a minor stroke, but we're doctors, so we're A&E doctors. We're not stroke specialists. So I suggest you wait and see a stroke specialist." And this is like on a Sunday evening. Like 11, I said, "How long is it going to be?" They said, "Oh, a couple of hours." And I know it's not going to be a couple of hours. I said, "Well, unless you give me a bed, because I'm buzzing, I can't stay. I'll come back the next day." And then they said, "Oh, run me through all the risks. If you go home, if you suffer another stroke, X, Y, and Z, we're not responsible, X, Y, and Z." So yeah, I went home.
You're crazy, man.
I just went and slept for like 10 hours straight.
Wow.
I woke up in the morning and still double vision, buzzing. I'm still a lot better now. But I've been referred to like stroke specialist now, so waiting to see a stroke specialist who can help me with my muscle. So it's my right eye, it's been affected. They're not aligned. Probably can't see. And I've been referred to Moorfields Hospital as well for that.
So have you seen the stroke specialist now?
No, so I went last week. I had my appointment, done all the checkups, and they referred me last week.
And can you see now?
Yeah, I can see. But I know they've...
Because when we met last time, you couldn't see out of your right eye.
No, I couldn't properly. The funny thing is, right, so me and football, I love football. So this happened on the Thursday. It's about 3-4 weeks ago now. Sorry, on a Sunday, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday we always play football.
Right.
I've been playing for about 6 years now, 6-7 years. A group of us. And I actually went to football.
I can't believe that.
I know, and I was...
4 days later?
4 days later, and I was playing like that because I couldn't see out this side.
How did your family let you go? You can't be stopped.
Yeah, I do my own thing, to be honest with you, and I can't be stopped.
Bro, so you're 32 years old, which is very young. You go to the gym regularly. You play football every week.
Oh, yep.
You don't eat junk food. But you, for the most part,
yeah.
And looking at you, you look like you're very trim and in good shape. Allahumma barik. So how does a person like that have a stroke? Why?
What it reminded me is that our life is short. Allah can take us whenever He wants. You can think you're the most fittest guy in the world, right? You can do gym 7 days a week. You can jog, run, do whatever, right? When Allah takes you, He takes you. I spoke to one brother about 2 weeks later, and he said he couldn't answer my calls because his wife's brother had passed away, heart attack, and he was 29.
Allahu Akbar.
And he said again, he was the fittest guy ever. 29. So like that makes you think, right? How easy it is. Wow. So yeah, so that's made me sort of reevaluate life a bit, and what I am doing.
So how has your mindset changed now since that day?
I think taking things a bit more lightly, taking the things a bit more easier. One of the things I used to be always working 24 hours a day. Right, whenever you want, you can find me. Send me a message, you can find me. Send me an email, I'll answer it. I think I've learned not to do that now.
Yeah, you have to give time to yourself, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've always given time to myself. I've always made time for gym. I've always made time for football, for family. But maybe I need to look after myself a bit more. And stop stressing. One of the things we were, I think, last week now was National or World Mental Health Day.
Yeah, I think it's the other day. Yeah.
The other day last week, and mental health and anxiety and stress is a real thing.
Yeah, I have this like massive fear of what you're talking about, or of stressing myself into an illness, because I stress a huge amount. Ask anyone in my family, especially my wife, and I think her biggest fear of me is how much I stress. And I try and balance with the work thing. I'm good. I'm disciplined in that I won't answer an email at 11 p.m. Even you'll probably notice that you texted me the other day and you said it'll be good for the next day or
Yeah.
And because I have to force myself to say no, it's work. I'm not going to reply to it at this time because otherwise, it's not that I don't want to reply to you, but it's that mindset of getting myself into accepting work things, right? So I try my very hardest not to deal with anything work related.
I'm the last person to give you advice on anxiety and stress.
But though I've maybe managed to separate my work life from my personal life, it doesn't mean I don't stress over it, and I stress a lot. And like leading up to that event that we did, the live event, I was probably a nightmare to be around. I was just constantly stressed, and if I'm not doing the work, I'm thinking about the work. Even last night, like I said, I had that meeting and stuff, and I ended up actually the meeting was non-work related, by the way, but I ended
getting married again, or
no, alhamdulillah. It was I must have got home at like 1 a.m. and I sleep, by the way, like 10 p.m. normally, but at 1 a.m. I'm there and I'm like, I'm going, I've got a mad busy day tomorrow, I've got to do this, I've got that. But that's me stressing over things that I shouldn't stress over. So I want to, I really want to get someone even on the podcast who's really extensively done work on stuff like stress or stress specifically.
So, like maybe, I don't know, I can help you maybe. So probably, I've never spoken about this. So people who know me, probably one or two people know about this. So I went through CBT. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Yes. With a therapist.
Amazing.
For 4 months. So I finished July this year. And it was the best thing I've done in my life.
And CBT is the therapy where
so it's
what happens?
So basically things that we do unconsciously that can lead to stress and anxiety.
Okay.
Right. For example, stuff like checking your phone constantly, worrying about something that may not happen. For example, you said to me, you were up until 1 a.m. thinking, you've got a long day and you've got X, Y, and Z to do. So if you didn't think about that, what would have happened?
Probably gone sleep. Yeah.
It's not stress or it's not anxiety or it's not things that will probably cause you to have any issues.
Who's this person? This therapist? Is it someone who is...
It's from the NHS.
Okay, fine.
From the NHS. She helped me a lot.
Do you have to? But do you have to?
So I was on a so my story is quite so I used to work for an organization,
Okay.
quite well-known organization, and when I left and I started up my own business, I suffered a lot, anxiety and stress. So I went and sought this therapy, basically from a friend who works for the NHS. And so yeah, he told me to go and put me on the waiting list for NHS, and then I've done it from March this year till July, every week on a Monday.
And that was a result. That stress that you got was as a result of what you experienced at your previous workplace, right?
Yeah.
Are you open to talk? How much? Because I know that there's legalities.
Yeah.
How open are
I
you?
probably won't be able to
Fine.
Discuss.
On a general service level, so that people at least understand what it is that happened, is that you. Can we mention?
I think
that
sometimes, yeah. I mean, I can probably speak about this, but I think sometimes we all go through this at work, right?
Yeah.
Where certain things can lead to you stressing and worrying about things, right? Because everyone loves their job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants a job, maybe not love it, but everyone wants a job to do all the things, rent, all the basic things, and then on top of that have some stuff label for savings and traveling and whatever. But I think it got to a point where I was getting quite fed up with some of the things that was happening to me personally, and it did affect me. I was like, most people who know me, they think of me as an angry guy or someone who's butch, someone who's macho, manly, right? And that affected me a lot, and I had to go and do something about it. So I was having sleepless nights.
But you also, can I say that you were dealing with some racism at work, or not?
Yeah.
I said it. You didn't.
Yeah.
I can cut that out if you want.
I can neither confirm nor
Fine.
deny that.
Fine.
But
But regardless, you were at you were at work and you dealt with stress, and you ended up seeing someone for therapy.
yeah, I mean it's very relevant because I mean yesterday.
I think it's relevant as well.
'Cause
And
yesterday-
I think that because I said it doesn't matter.
Hopefully not. Hopefully no one from there listens to this, or maybe they do. I don't know.
I said it. You never confirmed or denied it.
I don't confirm nor deny it. It's relevant because yesterday.
I think it's relevant, bro.
Yeah, I mean yesterday evening. Again, you don't watch football, so and I think a lot of the people listening to this probably do watch football. Yesterday, England played Bulgaria, right? And the players, England players, they threatened to walk off the pitch because of racism, monkey chants, Nazi salutes. This was big news yesterday. So the English FA were like, "Oh, we're going to walk off X, Y, and Z." And in my head, I was thinking, wow, racism is a huge problem in football. In society, it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
But when it happens internally, what is the process? What is the thought process? What is it that you're going to do? And how do you tackle this issue? Because it's a huge problem. It isn't just about walking off the football pitch. It isn't about just putting a tweet out, putting an Instagram post out, #no to racism. It's about what are you doing about it? Realistically, there has to be certain things that you do about it.
Yeah, I think that, any company has to portray themselves in the best light. And so they have to be pro this and anti this and pro this and anti this, which is all good and well. But if you're saying, we're anti-racism, and we're talking about any company here, but there are elements of racism internally, that's a big issue. And we see that in so many ways, you can see that even in families. Like you can see families who are on the outskirts, when they're meeting brothers and sisters for their sons or daughters to marry, families are very quick to say to the other families, we don't mind what country our someone daughter marries from, or if they're black, white, yellow and brown, but then internally, do they actually mean that? Would they actually be okay?
I think,
do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that. I'm not putting that as a blanket statement, saying that everyone is saying that they're not racist, but they are internally. But I'm saying that we do have to always try and fix ourselves and make sure that we're always sincere and pure. I think that the khutbah that was at last week was all about racism and about how there's just no space for it in Islam.
You know, you said something there that everyone has prejudice, right? Everyone's got a level of prejudice inside them. Every single person, right? Even myself. But when it's wrong is when you discriminate on that prejudice, right? You can't deny every single person on this earth has got prejudice inside them. Naturally. It's just how we were created. But when it's wrong is because of that prejudice inside you, you go and discriminate someone.
Yeah, I guess you do see that in like, it comes out in like, for example, sports, when you know you're prideful of your country when you're playing cricket
like,
or something, and you're
cricket,
like, nah,
football.
we're the best at it. Okay, well, that's the prejudice, right?
Right, yeah. But then if you decide to go and say, oh, we're the best and all X, Y, and Z nation, they're all crap, we are the
and
best.
They're weak because
and they're weak because of their lineage, X, Y, and Z. That would be wrong, right? But if you just, there's nothing wrong with being proud from where you're from, right? Nothing wrong, proud from being British. Like I think you would say you're British, right?
Yeah.
You're British, and
I'd say I'm British Pakistani.
yeah.
Yeah.
Most people would say I'm British Bengali,
Yeah.
right? And I am British. You can't deny that. You can't get away from that fact.
Yeah.
You know that you are British. But again, you should be proud of where you're from.
Of course.
And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But then if you decide to go and discriminate people, or then like, for example, you said to me, no, Ebs, you can't come on my podcast because you're not Pakistani.
Yeah.
Right? Then that would be wrong.
Yeah, we'd probably have about 3 episodes out by now.
Yeah.
Should we talk a bit about what you did after you left that job? Because I find that really interesting, because you started a project and a business, and Alhamdulillah is thriving now, that didn't exist in our field, and something that I think was very much so needed. But when you're not in those spaces, you don't know. And so you started Muslim Giving. That was your business that you.
Yeah.
you
So
began.
there's 4 of us who sort of co-founded it, and it started 2016, a long time ago now, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, where we were literally sitting at the table having some coffee, and everyone does fundraising, right? I'm trekking for Syria, I'm trekking for Burma, I'm doing a cycle ride for Gaza, and we used to use a lot of fundraising platforms. Don't want to mention their names, right? Don't want to give them some free publicity, but and then we thought there's nothing actually out there that caters for the Muslim community. Right, because as Muslims, we're the biggest donors in the UK. Roughly last year, or 2016, according to the Huffington Post, £100 million was donated just in Ramadan alone. Right, so we are the biggest donors in the UK. No one can deny that. It's in our religion to give. Right, it's fard upon us to donate. So yeah, we decided to come up with something, and we launched it last year, 2018, and yeah, we've come a long way now.
And so Muslim Giving is basically a website,
a fundraising platform.
I know you didn't
it's
want
more
to
than a website.
Fine, sorry. It's a fundraising platform. It's a crowdfunding. No, not crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is when you for your business, right? Yeah. But I know you didn't want to mention other platforms, but we're not restricted.
No, I know.
So like, it's basically like, you know, people use it like Just Giving,
Virgin Giving.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Oh, free publicity for them.
I actually like Virgin Giving. I know them quite well.
But stuff like Just Giving, and the other is another big one that I can't think of. GoFundMe, maybe. I don't know.
GoFundMe, yeah. So GoFundMe is like US based.
Right, but what Muslim Giving is an alternative, but it's actually for Muslims by Muslims.
Yeah.
And that's what's great, because
and we don't hide the fact. And like, we are by Muslims for Muslims.
Yeah.
But we've got a number of Jewish charities, we've got a number of non-Muslim charities on our platform, because anyone can use our platform. We're not discriminating, right? Anyone can use it, but specifically this is for the Muslim community.
No, but you're right in saying that, you know, the Muslims are the biggest donors, and if that and platforms like Just Giving are needed for us to be able, and when I say us, I mean like the layman, to be able to, like myself, to be able to donate to these charities, right? Now, when we donate to these charities, we need these platforms so that there are restrictions in place, so that there's regulations in place, so that we know we're not being scammed, so that these because these platforms are more than just someone that's a thing that's allowing us to make a transaction. These platforms also check on the charities and make sure the charities are approved.
They're collecting zakat. So, for example, charities like Just Giving, Virgin Giving, they're collecting zakat, sadaqah.
Right.
Now,
so my point was that if a platform like that has to exist, and the Muslims are donating so much money, it would be amazing if there's a Muslim platform that exists like that, so that we could do 2 things. We can we can trust that the Muslims are checking these Muslim charities and stuff like that. B, like you mentioned, if a person is paying zakat, there's actually a function that allows me to explain that this is zakat fund rather than just commenting saying this is for my zakat.
Yeah.
And thirdly, I think what's amazing about it is because the platform needs to exist anyway, someone needs to do that job, right? So why not be able to provide, while donating to charity, also support a business who are able to then employ more Muslims and to be able to give more Muslims halal jobs. And because no doubt when we're donating like £100 million to Just Giving, and they have to take a fee so that they can run their business, they're making a lot of money, which is great. But why not be able to run that through a platform by Muslims so that we can provide more jobs in that company, for example, for the Muslims. And if we kind of thought like that, then, you know, inshallah, the Ummah can, you know, really revive.
No, you thrive as well.
Thrive is probably a better word.
Thrive is a better word.
I don't know what revive even means.
Revive means what?
Revive is probably a dangerous statement. It probably means like to
revive
come back
means,
something.
yeah, like
fine,
something that was something that existed and then restarted.
So let's go with thrive. Why was it needed, Muslim? Why did you decide I need to?
There was nothing like that. There was literally no other platform in the UK that provided this. And again, it was a dream, right? I don't want to sound, what's the word? I don't want to sound like philanthropic. I hope I said it right. But it was a dream. Never thought this would be like when you see someone share. Because I get messages sometimes from people with Muslim giving pages saying, "Oh, can you please donate to my page?" And I'm, oh wow, this is quite good, right? Feels good. And as humans, we need that level of ego in us, I guess, to make us feel good. And like, so one of the interesting things, right? There's a charity called Eden Care. Mm-hmm. So they provide afterlife support and burial services to Muslims who need it. So burial is very expensive in this country, right?
Of course.
So a lot of Muslims can't afford it.
Right.
A lot of revert Muslims who die and their families don't know that this person was a Muslim. So then they will fight with them to give them a cremation. So then this charity, what it does, it fights on their behalf. So it does the will services before they pass away. So they go to work in a lot of hospices where a lot of new Muslims take Shahada, and then before they pass away, they get their will done so that they have Muslim burial. And this charity pays for it. It's an amazing charity.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
It's an amazing charity. And they get free publicity, right? They're gonna love me for it. But so they will create a page, for example, on Muslim Giving to fundraise for that person's burial, and usually it's around £3,000. And overnight, over 48 hours, they'll raise it because the burial will be in like 48 hours, right? So they literally create the page as soon as the person dies, and obviously as Muslims, you want to get buried as soon as possible. So within 40 hours, they'll raise that amount on Muslim Giving. And the interesting thing is, because they usually have the burial in the Islamic mosque and our offices are not far from there, I'll actually go and pray the janazah of that person. So for me, it feels amazing that this person's burial has been fundraised through Muslim Giving, and then I've gone and prayed that person's janazah as well.
Wow.
So not only have we facilitated this, right, for us, the way we think about it is that we will get rewarded for every single penny that is raised for any charity, not just that charity. So for us, again, it's about leaving a legacy. So even if I leave Muslim Giving till the day I die, or Muslim Giving is around, whichever ones come sooner, I will get rewarded for it. So with the right intention, anything, you can get rewarded for it.
That's amazing, man. The fact that you're able to do that, provide that platform, and then be so in touch with it as well.
Yeah.
Like, you really understand. And I remember when we spoke, when we first met, and you're talking about how, like, you know, all of the charities, like, or majority of charities on a personal level, it feels like there's some kind of homegrownness to it. Like, you know, there's a sincerity in it because you're in touch with the people who are using your platform, like on the charity level. And then even when we started using, so I first heard about Muslim, and I think it should, it goes without saying, or it should be mentioned that, you know, this podcast that we put together today, it's not like a sponsored podcast. It's not a podcast that we arranged so we could promote Muslim Giving or anything like that. We met,
and I didn't mention Muslim Giving. He did.
Yeah,
so.
I did. But we just met for a coffee a few days after you had a stroke, and I invited you onto the podcast, man, because I thought it was powerful. And So I heard about Muslim Giving when we were doing a project for our Operation Excellence event, and then you got in touch with me and you said, look, hey man, look, I'm kind of the guy behind Muslim Giving. Anything you need help with or anything you need a hand with, like, I'm here. And that feels nice, man. It feels like you're really, you know, in touch with, you know, everyone who's using your platform, everyone who's trying to support it, everyone's trying to raise money on it, and you're unbiased with it. You're not saying, look, you're as in when I say you're unbiased, as in you support all of the projects, and that's beautiful.
And that's the amazing thing, right? I don't have to support one charity. I can support hundreds of charities.
And they're all doing such great work.
Yeah. That's one thing I can do. But now, like I said, I'm taking a little break.
Yeah.
Trying to reevaluate my life, if that makes sense.
Of course, man.
And just doing my own thing now.
You're going into studies?
I'm looking back to go to university. I don't have a degree, by the way. I don't have a degree. Never went. I went to university actually for 2 weeks.
Okay.
London Met, 2006 now. And I walked out.
Were you 18?
I was 18. I was sat in the first lecture, and I still remember him. Right, proper. You can just think about it, right? Brown blazer, tie, shirt, different colours trousers, hair like me, well, no hair, and just rambling on. And I thought, I can't do this for 3 years. What am I doing here? And I just walked out and I didn't go back.
So what makes you want to go back?
You've
obviously got this new lease of life.
No. So it was even before this happened. I was applying for universities.
Okay.
So I was looking to go back anyway. It's not nothing. I don't think it's a new lease of life. I think for me is that I like traveling. I like history. I like international relations. So this is what I'm applying for.
But you don't like the food from other places, though.
I like food, but I don't like change.
Yeah, of course. We all know that, man. So is it history that you want to study?
I want to study history. I love history. And if there was such a thing, like a quiz thing, my special topic is geography.
Really?
Yeah.
But geography is not history.
It's not history, but it's related. Because history isn't just about...
Course, yeah.
It's very related because you can history about different places, about people, culture, religion.
Do you think you can name all of the countries in the world?
I can get close to naming that. I can name capital cities.
I'm going to test you on the countries.
I can name capital cities of countries. That's sort of my special project or special subject, as they say.
I've got this app called Bean. And have you got it, Bean? And you can tick all of the countries that you've been to in the world. So I've been to 5% of the world,
nice.
Which isn't that much.
That's a lot.
5%. It's like...
There's actually a guy called Drew Binsky. You might have heard of. Most people have probably heard of him. Instagrammer. He actually reached out to me. And he's traveled to every single country in the world. And he's doing a documentary in May this year. Because he's got 5 countries left. And he was doing a road trip in Africa.
I bet those countries are like Saudi Arabia or something.
Yeah, one of them is Saudi Arabia.
Must be in it.
One of them is Saudi Arabia, Jamaica.
You'll be able to go there now as a tourist.
Yeah, and then 3 other countries in Africa. So he reached out to me. He wanted some support. I don't know why he reached out to me.
He reached out to you as in like
he wants
Muslim
support.
Giving?
Not as an individual, as a person. And he said he wants to record. He wants to do a documentary because he's going to be like that's like the 5 countries, and he's done. He's done every single country in the world.
What an amazing achievement to have been almost like...
He's been to like Yemen,
in the world.
These sort of countries, right? Even he went Yemen last month. So that's crazy.
That's amazing, man. It's such a difficult situation that's going on in Yemen, man, right now with the... living here in the UK, you can't imagine that someone could die of diarrhea.
No.
It's diarrhea. Like, you go to the doctor, you get medication, you're fixed. And it's even rare to get diarrhea. Like, now, for us, diarrhea is you went out last night to a restaurant that just didn't function well with you, or it had a bit too many spices that you don't normally have. Your stomach's mash up the next day, and then you're fine after you've let it out and you drink some water. But and somewhere like Yemen, because of the lack of clean water in some of the places there, people are dying of diarrhea, man. Which is
it's the little things you appreciate, right? When, for example, now just imagine the most littlest thing in your body, right? So imagine now, say, your left finger, this one, was gone, didn't exist, right? Can you imagine how that would make you feel? It's a very irrelevant part of your body, right? But you would still miss this.
And you'd realise the relevance of it, wouldn't you?
One
You'd
is
be like,
gone.
You'd be like, I used to.
You
I
can't now.
didn't know that I needed a little finger for that.
Let's think of that.
Bro, I've got the list of the countries.
Yeah, go for it,
okay,
mate.
let's start. Let's try and go in alphabetical order. I don't know if this is all the countries in the world, but I'm just going with the what's on the Bean app. So they might be missing some countries, okay? But let's just see how many you can get. Actually, it's definitely missing some countries because it's literally got 1, 2, 3. Oh no, because it's not in alphabetical order. It's in
Countries you've been to.
it's in county.
What countries have you been to then? Let's
It's
see.
in like it's in order of
Continents.
continents. So let's go alphabetical in Europe.
All right.
Go on.
Oh, you want to name them?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing capital cities.
No, mate, we're going for countries. Europe, alphabetical.
I don't know.
Start with A.
A, I don't know. A for
There's only 3.
Armenia, Azerbaijan.
This is not in Europe.
They're not in Europe. They're in Europe. Armenia, Azerbaijan. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They're in Europe.
This isn't very good.
Um,
Azerbaijan's in Asia, and Armenia is in Asia.
They're Europe. Do you know how I know they're in Europe?
How?
Because they play in the European qualifiers in football.
That means nothing.
Of course it does.
There's people in Eurovision who aren't in Europe.
Okay, that's true.
Okay,
A, I don't know what is A.
Albania,
Albania. I've been to Albania actually.
Andorra, and Austria.
Andorra's not really a country, right?
It is on Bean app.
Yeah, not really.
B,
Belgium.
yes.
Just give me a clue how many there are.
1, 2, 3, 4 in Europe.
So Belgium, Bulgaria.
Yep.
Belgium, Bulgaria.
There's only 2 more.
Yeah. Trying to think now. Belgium, Bulgaria. Belarus.
Yes. I thought you wouldn't get that one. There's only one more. It's fairly easy. Loads of Muslim influencers went there recently.
Did they?
And Eddie from the Dean Show, I think, might be from there.
Bosnia.
Yeah.
So you know what funny thing is, right? From those 4 countries, I've been to 3 of them.
Which one haven't you been to?
Belarus.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're gonna struggle with this list, bro. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what countries I've been to:
Go on.
Belgium,
Yeah.
England,
Yeah.
France.
Well, technically England doesn't count because you're born here.
I'm
so-
just telling you what I've selected on the
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the Bean app. Italy, Norway. I don't remember going Norway. Scotland.
Scotland doesn't count as well.
But it's on the app.
Yeah.
Turkey, Wales. I lived.
Wales
in,
doesn't count as well.
I lived in Wales.
Really?
3 years. Yeah. Bahrain,
Okay, Bahrain I haven't been to.
Pakistan,
Haven't
Saudi
been to.
Arabia, UAE. Oh, we're running out now. That's pretty much. I think that's all of them. Oh no, there's 1 or 2 more. Morocco, and the Gambia. So that's
You've
5.
been to Gambia?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I'm planning to go back as well, inshallah, in a couple of months.
Nice.
That's 5% of the world I've seen. It's not much, is
So that
it?
means I've been to a lot more than 5% then.
Yeah, you should download this app. It's called Bean, Been, and you just tick the countries off. It's quite cool. I mean, I don't know why it's cool.
What's
but
the most, okay, yeah. Out of all of those, what's the most weirdest country you'd say? Well, not weird, but according to what you've been around.
What do you mean by weird?
Like a culture shock.
Gambia wasn't a huge culture shock because
Gambia is nice and chill. I've been there twice
it's
now.
relaxed, and also Gambia is similar to Pakistan in that it's very relaxed. People are happy.
Have you
people
been to the
are
Gambia
relaxed.
fried chicken? Did you go
No.
to Gambia fried chicken?
No.
No, you need to go there.
Morocco was as expected. I've been there a few times now. UAE as expected. No, none of them will be. None of them are culture shock, bro. None of them are culture shock. I'd say I really like the UAE, and that sounds so like, again, like millennial and like so like, oh, I hate people who say that they like the UAE. But bro, honestly, you got good weather. You got you can get away with the English language everywhere. Depending on where you go, is great for your practicing Islam. Anywhere you go, you can pray. Not that you can't hear, but there's big masajid and stuff like that. And there is that element of what we're used to in the West, which is like westernized things. Depending on where you're, even if you're Qatar, bro, like, you know. So I know it's like a very eye-rolly thing to say that you like the UAE because it's like, oh, like you need to get out more. But I that's what I'm not a huge traveler. Like for example, I went to Turkey, loved it, but it's like I loved it, and I get that there's a lot of great history and culture there, and I really did enjoy it. But now that I've been, I don't. Actually, no, I would go Turkey again. I would go Turkey again.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. For me, probably the culture shock was probably Russia.
Yeah, I mean that would be a culture shock for me.
But the state that we went to in Russia was 90% Muslim.
Really?
Yeah, Kazan.
Because Russia's massive. Isn't
Russia
it?
is massive. There's like 4 or 5 different time zones in Russia. There's a lot of Muslims. There's 48 million Muslims in Russia. When you consider that to the UK there's 3 million, 2.5 million. In Russia, there's 48 million Muslims. So it's got the biggest mosque in Europe.
Really?
Cathedral mosque built by Turkey.
No way.
Yeah, Mr. Erdogan in Moscow.
Have you been to Pakistan?
Never. Actually, I have, because we're all.
Yeah,
It's the
because
one.
it's
isn't
one.
it? It's one, isn't it? No, I haven't been to Pakistan. It might be difficult for me to obtain a visa, I'm guessing. I want to go though, because I want to go to the Gilgit Kashmir region, because I heard it's beautiful.
I've only been to Pakistan once, because I don't count the time I was like maybe 2 years old or something, because I don't remember it. But I went a couple of years back, like maybe 1 or 2 years ago. I vlogged it, so it's on my YouTube channel. I loved it, man.
Where did you go in Pakistan?
You know what it is, bro? Because it's your people, innit? I went.
But did you feel like still you are a foreigner? Because when I go back home, I feel like a foreigner.
Maybe a bit, but okay. So the thing that I enjoyed about Pakistan was actually when I went back to the area that my dad's from, which is like the villages. That felt nice.
I don't like village life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying because I visited it.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people when they go back home, they go and stay in the villages. They immerse themselves in the culture. If that makes sense. I when I go and stay in the city, 5-star hotel, that sort of stuff. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm just used to it.
Yeah, no, I'm a city boy as well. But we visited though.
Yeah. I haven't been back home in about 5 years now.
I'm not a huge traveller, man. I really just like travelling. Pretty much.
What's the whole immigration? Going through the immigration process?
No,
right?
not at all. I just like travelling because I just feel so... I'm a home bug. I like being at home. I get homesick. I love being at home, alhamdulillah. And...
I do get homesick like the first day, but then just forget about it.
For someone who's so extroverted, I'm very introverted in the way that in the sense that
You're
I
not
love being at
extrovert.
home. Really? You'd say that
Yeah.
you're someone extrovert?
No, yeah,
What
extrovert. Yeah, extrovert. Yeah. Extrovert is someone who's...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an extrovert. Yeah. Sorry, you're not an introvert. You're an extrovert.
Yeah. But for someone who is an extrovert,
Yeah.
I am only really comfortable when I'm at home. Which is quite an introverted thing to be.
To be,
isn't
I
it?
guess, yeah.
That's like my one side of introvertedness.
Yeah, I would say I'm an introvert,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
but I'm starting to do a little, because I wasn't on social media for like ever. I only took social media up like 18 months ago
Why did you take it up for Muslim Giving?
for Muslim Giving, yeah. So I never had Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There was hardly any photos of me.
Yeah. I haven't got Instagram right now.
Why is that?
I haven't had it for about a week. I took a
Yeah,
break.
I got worried.
Yeah.
I got worried yesterday.
Yeah.
I was trying to send you a message because your phone wasn't ringing. Sorry, this morning.
Today, yeah.
Sorry, this morning, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, your phone wasn't ringing, and I tried to go on Instagram and try and message you. It couldn't find you, and then I WhatsApped you. You never read it. And I called you on WhatsApp, and you didn't answer. I was thinking, okay, it would be the worst drive in the world if I came here.
Oh, no, an hour and a half, and I was like asleep or something.
Sleep, or like you've vanished from the face of the earth.
What happened is, so as I mentioned, my phone has this function where when I'm driving, it detects that I'm driving and it goes to do not disturb while driving, so I don't get any calls or texts. And so if you text me, it will automatically send you a text saying, hey, I'm driving right now, I can't accept it or whatever.
So is it automatic? Did you
It's
set it
automatic.
when, okay.
Well, I don't know, when I did a software update like last year, it just automatically set that for me, but I never turned it off because I thought it was quite effective for me. Because like if I get a text, I'll probably end up like...
But now everyone will know that when they can't get through to you, you're driving, which is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, and there's like a way around it. Like if you call twice, it overrides that because it's easier
I
as an
called a
emergency.
few times.
My
Didn't it?
personal number. You like
Yeah.
you just call really?
Yeah. It just didn't even ring. It didn't even go voicemail. It just like just beep. That's it.
Oh, that's odd. And then what happened is you WhatsApp called me, and I was on the phone to my sister at the time, and so I rang you straight back after. But when you WhatsApp called me, I was gonna come in and I was gonna be like, "Why did you WhatsApp call me?" Because my pet peeve is people WhatsApp calling me. It makes no sense to me because it's worse quality than a normal call, and everybody on their phone contract has like unlimited minutes nowadays. There's no contract that really exists that has like.
So but I guess sometimes it's easier because you're on WhatsApp, right? And all you got to do is press that button.
Oh no, I hate WhatsApp. It's such a pet peeve of mine. Unless someone's abroad, and like I hate WhatsApp calls.
But most places like the UAE, where you love to go, they don't allow
WhatsApp. Yeah,
they don't allow WhatsApp call. You got to use VPN.
Yeah, I just broke my set.
That's right.
There was something that I was mentioning just now that I forgot.
Pakistan,
No,
UAE. Do not disturb. WhatsApp call.
Before
Before
that. Oh, I can't remember, man. But yeah, no, I've lost it. That's so annoying, isn't it?
When you
lose something.
It can't. But usually that means it's not important.
They say that, but that's not true at all.
No, I think it is true.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So one of the things I do, I've got photographic memory, right?
Okay.
And
You must be good at memorizing the Quran.
Yeah. Let's not.
You need to utilize it in that way.
Yeah. So when I forget something, I trace my steps back. So if I, for example, sometimes I'm trolling through Twitter, and and I see something like, yeah, I got to do that, but then I'll move on, and then I'll forget about that thing. But I find that if I trace my steps back, I remember it.
Yeah, tracing your steps back really help. Even us doing that, I just remembered that it was about social media.
Yeah.
So I was basically saying that I'm not on Instagram right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting worried as well.
Yeah, that was
I
the
thought, did
context
you get banned or?
No. I deactivate my Instagram. I think it's healthy to take a break.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I just thought when I want to reactivate, I'll reactivate it.
One piece of advice, if I can give it,
Yeah. No.
is we don't need to post everything about our lives on Instagram or social media.
Agreed.
That's very important. And even this is advice to myself. Sometimes when I get so I love coffee, right? For me, I love coffee. So most of my posts are about coffee and just meeting people, right? And I see a lot of posts online, and I see every single detail of their life, right? You can see people what they're going to do at what moment in their lives. That's worrying. There's certain things we got to keep for ourselves.
Agreed.
And that's very important. And I agree with you about taking a break from social media.
Yeah, I said to myself that as soon as I want to, I'll just go back on it. But I've not missed it at all. And maybe that's because I have access to the Freshly Grounded Instagram, and so maybe I can get a dose from there. But it wasn't that I don't want to. I didn't want to take a break because I don't want to be on my phone. That's not what it was. It was. Sometimes it's tough mentally dealing with the fact that people get to have an opinion on you. That's difficult sometimes.
It can get to you because you
100%. Feel like I want to, and you go through in like ups and downs with that, but sometimes it's not nice.
No, of course it's not, and that's where your mental health comes into play. Because again, we're all human, and it's natural. You can feel alone. Have you ever felt that? Although you've had everyone around you, so your wife, your family, your friends, but do you feel alone? Sometimes you think to yourself, well, maybe I'm talking about myself here.
No, I think if I'm honest with myself, I don't get that feeling. Alhamdulillah, I don't think I get that loneliness. But I think that's because I'm too talkative. In that, if I feel something, I'll talk about it. And so...
Yeah, so I guess I'm the opposite. Like, I don't really talk about stuff.
You keep it in, right?
I keep it in.
Which is positive in many ways.
It is, but it can be a big negative.
Yeah.
So, having therapy and talking with my therapist, I learned that it's better out than in.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a balance. You gotta have a balance. You can't talk about everything, right? But it's good to have a balance. But it's better out than in.
I talk, man. I talk about my feelings all the time. Not all the time, but like...
I wasn't that sort of a person to talk about my feelings.
But if I'm stressed, like I'm up chatting to my missus and I'm like, oh man, like I'll say to her like I'm just not feeling right like mentally today. And she'll be like, why? And then I'll tell her I'm like, if I
So
try,
I'll give you the
if I
best
try
medicine
my
for that.
food, yeah.
Right.
Quran.
So yeah, Quran obviously.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. Coffee makes the world go round, man. Right.
That's such a bizarre statement.
Whenever I'm stressed, whenever I've got something on my mind, I find that when I go for a drive, go to a coffee shop and I pick up a cortado, right? That's my coffee of choice.
Okay.
Right. And I just sit down and sip that first sip that you think, everything goes away. Try it next time.
I think you're an addict.
No, well, I do have 4 or 5 cups a day, but it helps. I'm telling you. Try it next time.
The guy who founded Starbucks, I was listening to his interview, and I think he has about 5. He either said 5 or 8.
Starbucks is the worst coffee in the world.
What do you like to
Coffee
drink?
bean.
What do you like to drink?
Cortado.
No, but if you have to go to one of the big brands, which one would you go to?
Cortado. Costa or Cafe Nero.
Costa.
I've got
Costa's are nice.
I've got that Costa card.
I like the coconut milk from Costa.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. Can I have a soya latte, extra milk, thick, fat, all of that stuff?
I'm that guy.
Yeah. Like no.
My
See,
summer drink. My summer drink is a soy caramel frappuccino on ice.
Oh my days, you're one of those ones. You know whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
And a latte, for example. This is not coffee.
Yeah.
You do know that, right?
No, I know. I say this to everyone I know all the time. I like just a pure coffee most
That's
of the
like
time.
the latte. That's not a coffee.
Yeah.
Right. A cappuccino. That's not a coffee. Right. When you go to when you go to places like Italy, when you go abroad, like Albania, when I went Albania, like Bosnia, like that's real coffee. When you ask them for a latte, they look at you like...
Yeah, it's just like like a small coffee. It's like a small shot of coffee or something.
A small shot of coffee with a little hint of milk. So when I ask them for a little bit of milk, they still get a bit shocked, right? I don't do espressos. I don't do that. But a cortado, right, is about 2 shots of espresso and then this much milk.
Yeah, I think I've had a cortado when Costa first started doing them.
It's the best thing in the world.
I might have one next.
Yeah, Cafe Nero do them as well.
When you say you have 4 or 5 coffees a day, how many of them are decaf and how many of them are caffeinated?
They're all caf.
So you're having 5 caffeinated coffees a day?
So
Do you get the shakes, bro?
I get the shakes when I don't have it.
Really? I get the shakes if I have that much coffee.
I don't get the shakes. No,
I
like
pretty much
I've
have
gone
2 a
beyond
day.
that point. Like I can have a coffee and go to sleep. Like yesterday.
Oh, I can do that. I do that all the time. I can have a coffee and go to sleep easily. But I have 2 cups a day.
Nah. So like it's a routine for me.
Max.
I'll wake up in the morning. I'll usually have a tea, right? Hot milk. I gotta have hot milk tea.
Hot milk tea?
Yeah.
Who are you?
It's amazing, man. You're Pakistani. You never have karak chai?
Yeah. But karak's not really Pakistani. Pakistani tea is more like...
Okay,
like
maybe
pink
not.
tea. Kashmiri tea.
Kashmiri tea, yeah. Oh, okay. You've had Kashmiri tea, right?
Yeah.
Is that got hot milk?
You're right, yeah. It is.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's hot milk, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I really enjoy that, actually.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I don't have it that regularly.
Have it with hot milk. So you put the tea bag in, you put the milk in, right? Or you can use a saucepan to make your milk hot, put that in, and then you put boiling water in. It's amazing, trust me.
Wait, so what's the ratio of milk to water in this mix, in this concoction?
So milk would be probably 1/4.
Oh, so majority milk, water.
Majority water, but it's still amazing.
Have you ever done hot milk with a tea bag, like the hot pure milk?
Yeah.
How is that?
Nasty.
It must be, yeah.
Yeah, nasty.
There must be a reason why people don't do it, I guess.
No. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's nasty. And then I'll have a Costa usually. And the guys, I usually got 2 Costas in East London, and they know what I want before when I walk in, they'll just start making it.
You know, you can now make the order on the app, and
I
then
don't do that.
Okay,
I'm not a millennial.
Yeah, you can actually make an order on your app in your tracksuit, and then you can fly to UAE after that.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah,
Wherever I go, I find this right amazing. Like I was in Oman a couple of months ago, and it was hot. Like when I say hot, it was like 55 degrees probably. And I was walking, and it was hot, and I was sweating. I just had a shower, and I'm sweating again. I'm getting annoyed, and like I felt like it was a mirage. On my left was a Costa. It was amazing, man. The best feeling in the world. Or the hottest country in the world. But when I have a Costa or a coffee, like I told you, it makes my problems go away. I forgot about that. It was hot.
You're definitely really addicted to coffee.
I wouldn't say addicted, but like I can go without it. Like in Ramadan, obviously.
You must get the worst headaches in Ramadan.
First 2
bro.
days I do.
Even me.
But this is actually quite funny. There's a a cafe called Grounded
Okay.
next to the East London Mosque.
Okay, I've not seen it.
It's opposite the park, Grounded. So they're open late night until 11 p.m. So they do coffee. So that was perfect for me.
So tell me this, what coffee do you have at home? First of all, do you think, how much money do you spend on coffee in a day, like outside?
Probably about 5 to 6 quid.
So you always get outside coffee?
Yeah.
That's
I don't do
expensive.
filter coffee.
But that's so expensive, man.
Yeah, I know that's my thing. I don't
yeah, I
I don't like eat out often. I don't.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
That's my thing, right?
So what coffee do you have at home?
I don't have it at home, no.
I see.
So it's always outside because I can't make it at home. I tried with a machine, but it's messy, it's expensive. I'd rather use that money on a.
Fair enough.
And there's 20 as in Beckton, there's a 24-hour late night drive-through Costa.
But really?
Starbucks and Costa drive-through and KFC. They're all halal as well. KFC.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, don't you feel like you need a coffee first thing in the morning though?
So when I wake up, so usually
I have to have a coffee in the morning.
yeah, but the tea helps. But usually what I do, I go to the gym, and on the way back from the gym, there's a Costa. So I'll have my
what do you
Costa.
think about McDonald's coffee?
Nasty.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice and cheap though. I'll back a McDonald's coffee if I have to. No stress.
No, it's nasty. McDonald's coffee.
What do you think about? Have you had? Speaking about halal KFC, have you had the Daredevil bites that they just released,
No.
bro?
Is it nice?
Yeah. Do you like your spice?
Yeah, I like.
Okay, if you like the spice, go for the. I haven't had the peri peri ones because apparently they're really spicy.
But then again, like I think your spice is different to my spice. It's because, like, for example,
I don't like spice, so I get the sweet chili ones. Oh, mwah. Bro, it's just chicken nuggets with sweet chili sauce in it, but I don't know, they're good.
Yeah,
I
like,
might get some today.
so like one of the things I'm doing, right, is I'm doing a diet chicken and broccoli.
Oh, okay.
So
I did
like,
that a few years ago.
Yeah, it's just chicken and broccoli.
I got wham doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
good.
good.
It's
So
very
for
good.
anyone listening, if you want to go on a diet, chicken and broccoli is quality, but it gives you,
You can
gas.
add some rice to that as well if you need to be. Or get
Yeah,
rid of-
but so I'm not trying to bulk up too much.
Fine.
Like, so at my heaviest, I was like 15 stone.
What's that in kg?
So that's around 105 kg roughly, or
That's very heavy. Wow.
yeah, I couldn't move, man.
Wow.
So when I used to go football, I used to be like Lukaku,
I'm at my heaviest right now, bro, and I'm 86, I think.
86. That's me about now. I'm about 80 now.
You're not 86.
Yeah, 85.
You're lean.
I'm 85.
Wow, you must be in very good shape.
I'm not.
Bro, if you're a lean 85 like that, you must be in very, very good shape.
No, I'm not.
I want to get down to about 79 lean.
Yeah, 79 is good. I don't want to be big. I found if I'm big, I can't move. I want to be agile movement. One of the things, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention it.
Oh, you can mention anything on this podcast.
Okay. So I'm doing an event.
Oh, yeah.
Can I mention
it.
that?
Yeah, of course, bro. This is freshly ground. You can mention whatever you like. We're not regulated by anyone.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get you to host it.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm hoping so. If you can take time out your busy schedule.
Yeah.
So I've got from a previous job, I've got contacts with a few footballers.
Yes.
So I'm doing an event in hopefully December time.
Mhm.
Might be pushed to January depending on their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a few footballers on. I've got Rudy Gested.
I'm gonna pretend.
Yeah,
you say them, and I'm gonna pretend like I know.
One
who
of the
these footballers
things,
are, because I'm not into football.
Yeah, one of my pet hates is when I ask someone, "Do you watch football or do you know football?" and they turn around and say to me, "I don't have a clue." Right? I think, wow, do you live under a rock or something?
Yeah, who are you? Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm into it. Yeah, so you tell me they're footballers. I'm gonna get guys.
So Rudy Gested,
Raw.
he's a good player, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he's a good player. He plays for Middlesbrough
Yeah,
in the Championship.
just under the Premier League. Yeah,
Just under the Premier League. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna pretend you know that. Yeah.
yeah.
Mohamed Besic, he's actually
What?
from Bosnia.
Crystal Palace.
Close.
No. Wait, hold on. Sheffield United.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's on loan actually to Sheffield United.
Okay.
But he's contracted with Everton.
Fine.
And Jordan Ayew.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Wow.
How'd you know that?
Maybe we had a conversation over
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
off air.
that's true. And Taf Rahman. Taf Rahman's actually an interesting character.
I just saying him. I'm gonna Google him because I'm pretty sure I've met him.
Google Taf Rahman. I don't think you have, because he's I would say he's an introvert when it comes to the Muslim community. So Taf Rahman, he is the I would probably say, don't quote me on it, but the first British Bengali coach to hold the UEFA A license in coaching.
Okay.
Right. So you need that license to coach in the Premier League. Otherwise, you can't coach in the Premier League.
Yeah, I remember. That's why I think I met him, because I'm pretty sure I've met the one guy who... Oh, this guy. Wait, you said Taf Rahman?
Yeah, that's his name.
You mean Taf Rahman?
Oh, Rahman, sorry. Yeah.
I was looking
Sorry, bro.
it literally spelled like Rahman. That's so
No, Taf Rahman. Yeah, Rahman. Sorry.
I'm sure I've met this guy.
So
Where have I met him?
he's an interesting character. So he was actually assistant coach for the Guyana national team, and they qualified for the Euros as such with him as assistant coach. Ex-Arsenal QPR.
Maybe I've seen him on like Good Morning Britain or something.
Yeah, so he was on like Sky Sports News recently talking about racism in football as well.
And he's talking about getting Asian people into football, right?
Yeah. So he's a good guy to have. So yeah, it's going to be a good event. Talk about how religion. All of them are Muslim, by the way. Jordan Ayew and his brother Andre, they're all Muslim. They're from Ghana. Their dad, Abedi, he played for like Marseille and is a good level player.
Okay.
They're from Ghana originally, but they were both born in France, I think, when their dad was playing for Marseille. But it's going to be a good event. And I think an event of this type has never been done before, because nowadays in the news, right, with like people like Mo Salah and Mane, football is in the news, and especially Muslim footballers.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got amazing role models in the community, and for us to look up to. Like for me, Taf Rahman is an amazing role model. He was actually born in Bangladesh, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. He was born in Bangladesh, right? He came here when he was really young, and for him to achieve what he's achieved, right, it shows that there's no barriers in life. It's only what you put in your place and then what you go and get there. So it's going to be a good event.
Where can people find out about when tickets
so hopefully
are released and that kind of stuff?
Still finalizing everything, hopefully through yourself and through the players and through two sponsors.
Your Instagram maybe?
My Instagram, but I don't really have that many followers, but you can still find me.
And it's EBS
Ebs Rahman.
Rahman.
Rahman. Ebs Rahman.
So you're not related to this Taf Rahman?
I'm not related.
Rahman.
He's okay. Maybe I'm not going to ruin his story, but that's not actually his real name.
Okay.
Dum dum dum.
So we're gonna hear about that at the event, maybe.
At the event, maybe.
The continuation of it.
Yeah. But I'm not related to him. No, I have no relation to him. There's a lot of Rahmans in the world. It's and then the other three footballers. An event of this type has never been done before. Never been done.
It's in London, yeah.
It's in London. They'll come down. They'll talk about how religion played a part of this. Rudy Gestede has actually opened up his own charity now. So he's originally from Benin. I don't want to ruin people's event about him, but he's originally from Benin. So his parents are from Benin in West Africa.
Is it like a dinner and a...
yes, there'll be some dinner.
Food, okay.
There'll be some hot food, some nawab.
Now you're really going to get the ticket sales going.
And like nawabs is normally, I think about £28, 30 quid.
I think so,
yeah. So the tickets will be like half the price, and you'll get good food with it, and you'll get good company.
Yeah.
And hopefully...
And maybe me.
Maybe you, yeah. You won't get me.
Inshallah.
I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm just going to be having the food.
After this podcast, maybe the people... You're going to be in the corner, like, injecting coffee into yourself. Cortados.
Yeah. Like, and like I told you, man, try it next time, people. Just go and have your cortado when you're stressed.
Ebs, bro, jazakallah khair for
No
doing
problem,
this,
bro.
man. It's been lovely to have you on the podcast. It was amazing to hear about your journey. Amazing to hear your new perspective with things after you had that minor stroke, and we ask that Allah gives you complete shifa and blesses you and your family and protects you. Very excited for the event, and amazing to see your venture with Muslim Giving. So I wish you all the best, and just give me a second. Just cut out as I was ending the podcast. Wish you all the best, and again, bro, jazakallah khair.
No, bro, my pleasure, bro. My pleasure.
Thank you, bro. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.